I feel your pain, I do. And here's Birds of Prey. It was a decent enough film, but everything was set against it. Some people complained it was the title of the film. There was hate towards the film long before it was released. Some said it was a feminist sort of movie, and then they were proven wrong. But by that time, damage was done. You could blame it on the weekend that it came out. You could complain about the certificate, the R rating that it received, though many who've seen it said wasn't really worth that rating. It was a film probably that was meant to be two films, City Sirens and this one. There was so much, the marketing and everything else, and you seem to wonder. And then of course we've got that ridiculous news recently about executive from DC being fired by AT&T, and Disney could, Marvel could buy DC or something, when Marvel itself was bust at some point and saved by Disney. So I hope you can share with me the disappointment and the lack of success we've been having, and especially when we've had some really great movies like Batman vs Superman, Ultimate Edition, and Man of Steel and everything else, and Warner Brothers didn't recognise that at the time. In fact, instead what they've done was they've just looked out for what could potentially be money making, easy, let's forget about a script movie. They took somebody like Harley Quinn out of the movie Suicide Squad and thought, you were popular in that film, let's just put you in a film, your character in a movie, that's guaranteed seats. And it doesn't. It's and I don't know how much money was spent on marketing, but right now, as I look at the numbers, the brand that is DC is, and I've said this many times in previous videos, is going down. And it's very hard. I can see where you're coming from. It's very hard to look forward to a DC product when we, and I'll have to disagree with many thousands of Marvel fans that DC has the best ever comic characters on the planet. It's just unfortunately they do not have the right driving force behind it. You have one corner where they want soft, gentle comedies, and then in the other corner we want to have hard-biting, nail-biting, dark, serious movies. And what you get is something in between, like Suicide Squad or Birds of Prey, and these are, and some of these characters that are in these films are fantastic characters, but they just do not know how to handle them. And they didn't know how to handle Superman. They did know how to handle Superman. Man of Steel, Zack Snyder, best Superman ever. They knew how to handle BVS, but the executives didn't know too much about the characters to let these movies breathe, to let it become a part of the psyche and people. Let people see these films a couple of times on DVD or streaming. Get the BVS, Batman vs Superman, off Netflix and replace it with the Ultimate Edition. That is what you need. That is what you need to show. Right now there's HBO and talking about connecting with YouTube, and maybe that is how to make maybe future DC films more global. And again, BVS, Justice League Snyder Cut, It has to become global. You cannot just keep it to America. It deserves a huge release. And I guarantee with that huge release, with the right marketing behind it, Justice League, the way it was made, if it came on TV, the way it was meant to be filmed or something like that, or like Justice League, never before, green, darker, meaner, stuff like that, and then you'll get people's interest, and that alone may save the DC brand, may even bring Ben Affleck back into the fold. As I said it before in my last videos, right now I've seen the films I would want to see before I die, which was Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, and Batman vs Superman. Give me Justice League, Snyder Cut, and I'm happy. But right now there is no DC, and I know I speak on behalf of many DC fans out there. We have been severely let down, but we must support the brand to keep it going, to keep executives at Warner Brothers or whoever feel like there is still a market there for it. Because if we do not support the brands, they'll stop it entirely. They'll put up their hands and they'll say, we surrender, and just concentrate on cartoons and comics for future movies. As I looked at those directors sitting in the circle with Hollywood Insider, and when I looked at the Warner Brothers executive, I just thought, he doesn't inspire enthusiasm, he doesn't inspire trust in the DC brand, and we need somebody there that's excited. When Ben Affleck said recently that he lost excitement, that is because of all the hassle he got, that it just drained his passion for making a Batman movie out of him. So we need passion brought back into the DCU, and when that happens, then the brand will start to live again. And as I say, if you're one of the few, or one of the many, whatever, that didn't like Birds of Prey, I hope you still went there and supported the brand. I know it may not have been the film you wanted, but again, it's still a brand that we want more movies from DC. Search your soul deep down, we want more movies. We want movies of The Question, we want movies of Adam Strange. We want a chance to show that. I mean, the Marvel executive at that dinner said, we have hundreds and hundreds of Marvel characters that we can just spend years making those movies. As I said, I've never seen majority of Marvel films because they're just not for me. But again, they have this brand that is selling, and I know there's a lot of Marvel fans out there that don't like the way their heroes are portrayed in these movies, but they're still supporting the brand, and they will be treated to a lot of Marvel films in the future, whether they like Marvel movies, Disney movies, interpretation of it, they're still going to get it. And that's what the DC fans need to do. They need to join together and support the brand so we can get a lot more movies. But right now it's looking doubtful. Well, let me know in the comments below, and mind check out my DC Vigilante Facebook page. Thank you.